Gold's Gym. Men, grown men with big dicks in the women's locker room. And that's why I'm getting kicked out. And I want to make sure the girls know. The fuck? Everybody saw that man in the fucking locker room. No one's saying shit. And I'm fucking done with it. It's fucking stupid. It's dangerous. Me naked in front of a man without my permission. But I ain't the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not wanting men in the locker room.
How are you?
Did you tell me or not that women like to see dick?
I'm the guy asking you a fucking question.
Exactly, exactly. Get out of the way now. No, now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room. We don't want it. He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that shit. And the woman told you. He assaulted me. The girl told already. We already filed reports. No, no.
That's fine. I want the video.
You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman and I have every right to not want a man in the restroom when I'm naked. There are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay. It's not okay. I understand. I'm not.
As you can see, the guy is confronted at Gold's Gym, and what does he do? He retreats back into the ladies' locker room like it's okay. Now, in this Gold's Gym, is it okay for men to get dressed in the ladies' locker room? This is crazy. Imagine this, you know, for those of you who think this is okay, imagine if this was your daughter or your wife or your auntie, your grandma, whatever that goes to the gym. And this guy right here, you know, he wants to pretend, I guess he wants to pretend he's a woman, and he's wandering around nude in the women's locker room, and he's going back in there, and it looks like the employees of Gold's Gym aren't stopping it. So I am going to assume that they say this is okay. And the lady, you know, obviously she's very upset. They kick her out and not the guy. This is crazy. So there is a follow-up video from the lady who is in this video. So she did a follow-up video. So let's go take a look at that. I'm actually wondering if this made the news, so I haven't even looked into it, but I'll check into that in a moment. Let's see. The woman at Gold's Gym in Los Angeles is furious after a man pretending to be a woman invaded the female locker room while she was naked. It's really hurtful. Like, how are you going to say you want to be a woman or that you are a woman, but you don't give a F how women feel? Why do you think it's okay for men to be in the women's restroom?
I just had the worst experience ever at the gym, at Gold's Gym, and I think this is probably happening at gyms across America, where like trans women are going into the women's locker room and not really caring about how women feel about it. And it's really hurtful, yo. Like, how you gonna say you want to be a woman or that you are a woman, but you don't give a fuck how women feel? Today I was naked in the locker room. I turn around and there's a man there in boy clothes, lip gloss, standing there looking at me. I'm butt naked. So the first thing I think is maybe there's a worker in here. Maybe I missed the sign. I say the word sir to say, sir, what are you doing in here? He goes, don't fucking talk to me. I'm a woman. I have a right to be in here. Immediately, I'm fucking pissed because I'm butt naked. I feel violated. I feel like weird. Like, I don't want to deal with this, right? So the girls are walking in and they're seeing the commotion and they actually chime in and say, yo, I don't know why he's in here. He's not supposed to be in here. And then I talk to the people that work at Gold's Gym and they don't really have anything to do. They just like, oh, we can file a report about it, incident report. What the fuck is going on? Like, listen, how can you say you're a woman or you want to be a woman and you don't care how women feel? That's nothing more manly than not giving a fuck about how women feel, I'd like to think. And I get it, like, everybody has their own things, and I don't want to say that I know everything about gay rights or trans rights. I'm a lesbian. I've been a lesbian my whole life. I treat people how I want to be treated regardless of whatever their sexual orientation is or whatever they decide. So I'm not transphobic, and I'm not homophobic. I'm not straightophobic. I'm not racist. None of these things. I just believe in treating people how I want to be treated. Why do you guys think it's okay for men to be in the women's restroom? And like, when is the cutoff point? Is it like, oh, you cut off your penis, you can come in here? Why aren't women making the laws? And if you really want to fucking be safe and feel good, why don't we just make trans restrooms? Because it ain't right. The way I feel right now. And don't come into my comments about he gay, he ain't looking at you. I don't give a fuck, bro. It's about a feeling, yo. Like, if you never been a little girl who been touched or been through some shit, you won't understand that feeling. And you've never been a little girl.
I think that everything she said is valid. She has a right, in my opinion, to be able to feel safe and to be in a woman's locker room, restroom without men being in there. I think that most men feel this way. Even women feel this way. I mean, this is crazy. So it looks like they're just going to file an incident report. So they must allow this because it doesn't seem as if Gold's Gym thinks this is a big deal. Obviously, this lady was startled. She's obviously very upset. And I think she has every right to be. This is crazy. And there's a lot of people who have chimed in on this. And it looks as if you got a lot of people who feel the same way. This is the man who invaded the women's locker room at Gold's Gym. This needs to stop. I agree. Let's see. Gold's Gym also allows males to compete in female competitions. You can't make this stuff up. That's crazy. I don't think that should be allowed either. Men should not compete in women's sports. There's obviously a biological advantage, man. So those who say different, you guys are crazy. Why are American women's rights being trampled on in order to pander to trans women who make up 0.3% of the population? This is a simple issue. Give women their privacy, give men their privacy. Shame on Gold's Gym for making things unnecessarily complicated. I agree with the sentiment. The weakest men compete with girls, the weakest minds celebrate it. I like this post. I agree with the post. If genitals that define gender, how does removing them affirm it? Good point. Let's see. That's why you don't vote for Democrats. Relax, I'm a woman. This is crazy. This is a good one. Look at the dude. Look at the dude. It's rock hard, man. Relax, I'm a woman. That's a good one, man. I'm gonna go ahead and like that one. That was crazy. Crazy. These people crazy, man. Oh man, say no to men and women's private spaces. Dear trans community, don't tell me I have to accept you for who you are when you couldn't accept yourself for who you were. Damn. Lisa Simpson has spoken, man. We're gonna have to go ahead and like that one as well. Hey, raise your hand if you are tired of this shit. Raise both hands. We tired of this shit, man. It's stupid. Let's see. This bullshit started because of this bullshit. Thanks to this asshole. A lot of us voted for this brother, man. But this is before we knew. We were indoctrinated. A lot of us were indoctrinated. Man, I identify as a woman. Are you a biologist? Yes, I identify as a biologist. I identify as a biologist. Yes. Understanding biology is not a phobia. I agree. There's a lot of hitters in here, man. I agree with them, man. Good for her for standing up for what's right. Shame on you, Gold's Gym. Shame on you, Gold's Gym. I can't believe that this is an issue that we're even talking about this, man. Women should feel safe in locker rooms, bathrooms, whatever. Just think if this is your mama or your auntie or your daughter or your sister, man. Future Gold's Gym in California. Women's changing room. Well, this fucking science. It's striking to me that she's a black woman, openly lesbian, and yet she is practicing blatant discrimination based on gender identity. Okay, this is someone that's giving a little pushback. You should expect her to be one of the most aware of the cruelty of discrimination based on appearance, sexual orientation, or gender identity. And yet she's using the same arguments white people use during segregation when they justify banning black people from public spaces, bathrooms, and locker rooms by saying they felt uncomfortable and were just protecting their feelings. They insisted they weren't being racist, just considerate. Today, she's demanding separate bathrooms, locker rooms for trans people because she feels psychologically uncomfortable around them while insisting this doesn't make her transphobic. It's astonishing how completely absent basic rights awareness can be, even amongst marginalized groups who have lived through discrimination. She is, after all, a woman, black, and a lesbian. Fortunately for the other party, this happened in California, where people are legally protected from discrimination based on gender identity or sexual orientation. So the gym's decision to revoke her membership is discriminatory behavior that also included public harassment was not only appropriate, it is explicitly protected under state law. And I truly wonder how she would react if another woman refused to share a locker room with her on the grounds that she is a lesbian, saying that she doesn't feel comfortable undressing around a woman who is attracted to women and demanded separate locker rooms for lesbians out of respect for her feelings. It's genuinely unfortunate to see this level of ignorance, regression, and lack of basic human dignity, even from those who know what oppression feels like. That is a bunch of bullshit. Shut up. You guys are always trying to link what happened to black people in this country to this transphobic mental issue. This is some bullshit. It's not the same. Listen, someone who biologically is a man and is trying to act like a woman is not the same as a black person. Someone who is black, whether they're a black man, black woman, it is totally different. I don't even know why you guys are trying to attach us to this bullshit argument, man. Stop the cap. We tired of it, man. Don't put us in there, man. It's not the same. It's not the same. Someone who's choosing to cut their ding dong off versus, black people who've been oppressed or were slaves in this country or what have you. It is not the same experience, man. You guys are always trying to link it. Shut the hell up. Oh, let's see. It's not discrimination for a woman to want a female-only changing space. Women are not going to stay silent about this lunacy anymore. Buckle up. I totally agree, man. Woke parents won't spank their kids, but will cut their nuts off. Transgender, when being a regular F doesn't get you the detention you deserve, I just think this is crazy. Why not have a trans bathroom? Fine. I don't have a problem with someone that wants to be trans. Okay, fine. You go through the things. You want to be identified as a woman. You go through the operation. You do all these things to be called a woman. Fine. Give trans people their own bathrooms so we can protect our women. I see that this is not covered by the news. I'm looking all over the internets. I'm not seeing anything. I've checked several social media outlets, and there's no media coverage that I see about this. However, we got the one and only Megyn Kelly. She does talk about this. So let's go ahead and see what Megyn Kelly has to say about this situation at Gold's Gym.
And it was a great post by this woman who was going to the Gold's Gym in California. Her name is Tish Hyman. She says she's a lesbian. She, so she's not anti-LGBTQ. That's her point. But she went to the Gold's Gym in Los Angeles over the weekend. I think this was the video posted yesterday. And she got kicked out because she objected to a man. I would say posing as a woman, but I mean, just barely. He's making very little effort at the gym using the women's locker room and bathroom. And she was naked and he was in there staring at her. And they asked her to leave when she complained. Here she is in the Gold's Gym getting kicked out and complaining. I think that's shot one. Tish.
Gold's Gym! Men! Grown men with big dicks in the women's locker room. And that's why I'm getting kicked out. And I want to make sure the girls know. The fuck? Everybody saw that man in the fucking locker room. No one's saying shit. And I'm fucking done with it. It's fucking stupid. It's dangerous. Me naked in front of a man without my permission. But I ain't the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not wanting men in the locker room.
Matt, the reason this is happening is because the state law requires it. Much as I'd love to blame Gold's Gym, Gavin Newsom and his pals have made it state law that every facility, public or private, has to allow this. It's insane. It's deeply wrong. And the voters of California don't seem to give a damn. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I do blame Gold's Gym also, though, because we blame the law, blame Gavin Newsom certainly, but also, I mean, you're a business owner in that state, you're a business in that state. You can't allow this. You know, the reaction from that woman is exactly correct, and this is how everybody should react. And I think if everyone had reacted that way from the very beginning, when this madness first sort of started in earnest, like 10 years ago, then it would have been shut down very quickly.
Somebody posted online yesterday, not all heroes wear capes. That's how I felt too when I watched Tish come out there. You know, Matt, Gavin Newsom follows me on X, and I tweeted that out. And I tagged him saying, help her. He won't. He has absolutely no courage on this front. And while he talked a good game with our pal Charlie, when he had him on about how it's unfair to have men and women's sports, he later just said, it's just such a complicated issue, so confusing, and threw up his hands. He's not going to help Tish. He's not going to help girls dealing with boys in his sport. And it's really going to come down to President Trump and just how intrusive he can be on these states that insist on fostering this harassment.
Right, and it should be. I mean, this is a place for federal law. There could be laws passed on the federal level, because this is not a states' rights thing. This is a human rights thing. This is a human right. This is an infringement on your rights as a human being, as a woman. You know, to just like a basic level of privacy and safety and security when you're in your most vulnerable state in the locker room. Yeah, you do have a right to that, and that is being infringed upon. And so it is a federal issue. And I will say that Tish, she asked him that question. She says, how could anyone think that this is right? And the answer to the question is that no one thinks it's right. I mean, no human, or almost none. But aside from the actual trans activists themselves, and even some of them, I don't even think it's right. But everybody else, like no one else thinks it's right. Gavin Newsom does not think that that's right. There's no way that Gavin Newsom could look at that situation and come to the conclusion that the woman who is objecting to the man in the locker room is in the wrong. He doesn't actually think that. He knows that that's totally crazy.
And then came the wonderful What is a Woman by Matt Walsh in the Daily Wire, which really was a game changer. It just completely changed the conversation by calling out the insanity and questioning the proponents of it in a very fair, matter-of-fact way. They were humiliated, but there are still hangers-on.
I think the sentiments that they're expressing here, Megyn Kelly and her guests, I think that by and large, people agree with this. I believe that Gavin Newsom being the governor of California is a huge mistake. California, do yourselves a favor in the next election. Make sure that this guy never holds any type of political office. The guy is awful. Look at the state of California, man. People are leaving the state of California. It is a travesty of what is happening there. And this guy, Gavin Newsom, he all he is about votes. He's a very disingenuous person. He does a lot of grandstanding. The guy is a great actress. I can't stand the dude, man. I don't even see how you guys ever voted this guy in. It's incredible. And you look at a situation like this. All superheroes don't wear capes. I'm on Trisha's side, man. This lady here, she's highly upset about what happened. I'm on her side. Men should not be allowed in women's locker room, period. Men shouldn't be allowed in women's sports. And if you are a trans man or a trans person, you should have your own restrooms, your own locker rooms. As far as I'm concerned, you should have your own sports. You guys should compete against each other. I don't think a man who is a biological man cuts his thing off and then wants to compete with women and then dominates. Come on, man. You guys know. That same person couldn't dominate against other men. That's the reason why he wants to compete against women. Crazy. And those of you that act like you don't see that, man, Y'all are disingenuous too. You know it.